Doctor Who, Season 1, Episode 5, titled Dot and Bubble. And what this episode basically is a Black Mirror episode that could easily be described as the Doctor tries to save witch kids, but witch kids don't learn anything. But, this whole Black Mirror episode is basically exploring social media and talking about bubbles and how we all live in our own bubble, and sometimes we need to get out, and there are certain people who can't live outside in their own bubble, in their own echo chambers. And it's something like it's a very science fiction thing to do. It's a very science fiction concept, but it's not that new. I mean, the moment social media became a thing, mostly when like Twitter and Instagram started to come out, you got these, every big sci-fi episode or every single sci-fi movie and any tiny big sci-fi had like a Black Mirror, like a Doc and Bubble, an episode like this. So you're thinking, okay, what's going to be different about it than just like, hey, look, it's the Doctor Who movie. It's just a Doctor Who paint job. And at the beginning, I was like, because it wasn't anything new, I was like, okay, it's good. It's probably like maybe the second weakest episode of the season. I mean, probably easily Space Babies is like right at the bottom, even though I enjoy Space Babies, but I was like, yeah, it might be the second weakest episode. And it probably still is. Because it's like, oh, okay, we have seen this before. We have seen this type of story, just not in Doctor Who, but just in media in general. So you're just like, okay. The concept of the bubble is quite interesting, where they took the concept of the circle. You know that Netflix show, The Circle? And everyone, it's basically, you're in literally a bubble with social media heads, and you're like, and you got a main character, because literally, we got 2 episodes in a row where the Doctor and Ruby, well, Ruby was the main character last week's episode, but the Doctor isn't the main character of the episode. But you got Lindy, is looking at this bubble with all these social media people, and there's a little bit of RTD did literally wrote a little bit about teenagers' attention spans or young people's attention spans, because she has so many, Lindy has so many friends to the point she's like having a 5-minute conversation with this person, 5-minute conversation with that person. She likes this guy, so she'll look at him for like 20 seconds and all that. And if there's any negativity in the room, any toxicity, it's, oh my god, Doctor, like example, the Doctor. So, oh my, because the Doctor's very direct. The Doctor, he's like, I need to save you. This needs to happen. We need to understand what is going on here. But she's like, you're bringing so much negativity in the room. I don't want to deal any of your negativity. You're bringing some negativity in the room. Well, meanwhile, Ruby's able to break it down and, because she's like, I'm from this generation of social media. I think I know how to break down to people. She's young. I'm young. I can hopefully break it down, understand where she's coming from. The creatures themselves, like the big threat, the thing that, Doctor and Ruby are trying to tell Lindsay about, get out. You need to find a way to escape. Get out of the building, right? Go to this bunker. There's a bunker. We can help you. And you're avoiding all these slugs. And some people are getting eaten, some people ain't. And they're trying to find out why some people are getting eaten, why they're not. And the thing is, the slug thing, I just felt, okay, this is different. And doing the AI thing about like, oh, because of AI hates annoying teenagers to the point they create these slugs and start killing them off. And I just go, okay, that's your threat. It's not. I just went, okay, see it done. Terminator. I was like, Terminator. Okay, fine. And that. But what gets really interesting about this episode that makes it like good to pretty solid episode is like the last like 10 minutes of the episode where you're thinking, Lindsay, who's been on this journey this entire day. She's been on this journey. She's been this bratty witch kid character at the beginning. You assume that she would just naturally mature and grow up, and the concept of like the one-on-one thing that you get told in storytelling when it comes to like 3-act structures and spitwiring and narratives and all that kind of stuff is characters need an arc. They need to go point A to point B, right? Lily doesn't go on an arc. She's basically, I'm a brat, I just become more of a brat. She's like, she sacrificed someone to save her own skin. And then when the Doctor, and there's a really powerful scene, we see the Doctor and Ruby in person in like 5 minutes. And it's literally the Doctor telling these kids, all these people who survive along with Lizzie, to come say, if you go out there, you will die. Go into the TARDIS. Go, I can, like, it's basically a speech that we have seen the Doctor do 1,000 times, that, hey, let's go, I can find you a home, find you a new home, my TARDIS is big on the inside, blah, 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 blah. But they're like, that's witchcraft, that's voodoo. We have our own dignity. We are witch kids we don't learn anything. We're all about ourselves. And you just go, wow. I was like along with the Doctor. I was thinking, but you're going to get killed by slugs. You're going to get killed by more slugs. What is this? But the reaction, like, oh my god. The performance. The performance from Gaffer. And then the last 30 seconds where you have this like a mix that I was like, wow, it feels like my goal is like saying I want to do Bond, because it very felt like a very Bond type store at the end, where you having a kind of trumpet thing where like, hey, these guys are, these kids, they're riding through the sunset, they're together, they're getting out of the bubble, they're leaving the bubble, but they're also serving their faith, and along with like a more emotional Doctor, which 15 years. Next week's episode is all about it's the Bridgerton episode. It's Rogue. It's the one where John Groff is in the episode. There's also, was it John? And also a lot of people feel like John Groff is the new Captain Jack because he has a big sci-fi gun. Okay. But yeah, looks like Bridgerton, where there's a wedding and it turns into a court of owls, you may say. It might be Doctor Who. Well, if Doctor Who created the court of owls, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like from that episode, man. By that little next week stuff. But anyway, comment below, waiting for a